It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag Utah Jazz.
The biggest issue for us tonight, obviously, was protecting the paint. They had 76 paint points, and a lot of that was our physicality on the ball, guarding screeners. We weren't physical enough with the screeners when we were switching, and they were able to get behind us.
There's Will Hardy after the Jazz play what I believe we call a Kinahan game around these parts. This is what PK wants, a competitive game. Young guys play a lot of minutes. We learn a little something about them, or maybe reinforces something we've learned about them. And then they lose on a shot in the final minute or so. In this case, a missed shot right at the end. So, PK, you got no complaints, right? 121-119L, working the draft pick, and Isaiah Collier, Ace Bailey, Cody Williams. You get to see something from those guys.
Oh, I got major complaints, my good friend.
Oh, brace yourself. All right, what do you got?
This is the worst trade the Jazz ever made, getting rid of Jock. I mean, he took it. He had so much anger at the Jazz. I'll show you. You let me go. I could have been one of your all-timers, but you wouldn't give me a chance. You didn't believe in me. You jettisoned me. And then he came back with a roaring vengeance. That's what I love. I love vengeance. And my man, Jock. Don't dock the Jock. That's what I kept thinking throughout the entire game. Do not dock the Jock.
Well, he's just one of those superstars they were afraid wouldn't resign here, PK.
Again, and I got to say this, man. I know it hurts, and I'll take some abuse, but never, under any circumstances, trust an Australian.
Nice. Nice shot at Joe, wherever he is.
Exactly. In the great beyond.
The great beyond.
Which is now known
as the Eastern Conference?
Is now known as Minnesota.
Oh, okay. All right. He is in the West now. Why can I not figure that out? Why is Minnesota in the West? Shouldn't Minnesota be in the East? Geography.
Some may ask why it's in the U.S., but that's another question.
I've heard that. Trading Minnesota for, is it Alberta? There's something about that. Whatever.
I'd go Toronto.
Seriously, this is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. 48 minutes for Isaiah Collier. Now, the 25 points and 11 assists is going to be a little bloated because of 48 minutes. You used to complain about the per 48 minutes. Like, that doesn't tell me anything because people don't play 48 minutes. Sure enough, now it's per 36 minutes. Somebody figured that out. You were ahead of the analytics MIT people.
One time I was looking at Oscar Robertson's career stats, and there was I think it was a playoffs run, which was extended. He averaged 48.5. So it can be done. I mean, basically, I have no problem calling Isaiah Collier instead of the Big O, the Big I.
There it is. 25 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds. He nearly matched Yusuf Nurkic there and put a triple-double in the book. Nearly. Didn't quite get there, but impressive.
Yusuf who?
DNP, coach's decision. Keontae George, DNP, left ankle. Kevin Love.
Yeah, and then they sat Collier.
Yeah. DNP illness. And Markkanen sitting down in the third quarter. Whoa, we might win this game. Get that guy out of there. So he gets 18 points in 23 minutes. He had it going.
Yeah, and obviously they want to lose now. It becomes even more imperative, and get your thoughts in the following segments on the trade because they can't afford to win these games, clearly, especially when they got a schedule that's going to go up against a bunch of other teams. I think now with the trade deadline come and gone, we have increased the number of teams who want to tank.
Yes.
Not decreased.
Agreed.
And so that just adds to the pressure to lose games, because if you can add and get lucky in the lottery, man, all of a sudden, wow, look at what you got next year. And so the good thing is, and we can get to this later, obviously, that is we know that the rest of the season, the tanking can be more easily stomached, I guess, or digested, because we know as soon as the last game ends in the 82-game season, it is over.
We suspected it. We expected competition next year, and Tim Lacombe came on and expected real competition next year. But for the people who didn't believe us, you got to believe now with the trade. I mean, it's clearly on. There's nothing left to argue about. And if anything, it's trying to anticipate what moves come next and what will the lineup look like next year. There are scenarios where the competition for minutes at some of these positions could be intense. And it'll just make it imperative that the young guys have a big summer. Exactly. And I thought about some of the lineups that they could have, and there's still moving parts, so who knows. But you look at where they could be headed here, and it just reminded me of old Steve Cleveland line when he was rebuilding the team. I don't have subs, and all the starters know it. And you're not going to have bench eye. And you only want that to a little degree. You don't want a big degree so that it erodes your confidence. But you want to know if you got to do it right. And if you're having a bad night, you're going to give somebody else a chance because there's a bunch of guys over there who might be able to do it. And that's the advantage Will Hardy should have next year, barring something catastrophic. It looks like he's going to have that next year.
Yeah, you want to have a competitive training camp. You want to have, particularly at the college level, because you have more practices. You want to have a competitive practice each day because obviously that's going to make players try their very best at all times, and that's how they're going to improve. Yep. It's the same thing at the pro level.
Orlando is over 500. That's the Jazz' next opponent. They are scrambling for a postseason position. Where will they land? I suppose they could fall out if things really went poorly, but it doesn't seem to be how things are heading for them. So expect Jazz to be missing a lot of players, and we'll see what they do tomorrow at 5 with a pregame at 4. The Jazz did officially waive Lonzo Ball and Chris Boucher, so, whatever, okay. Adding second-round picks, you guys go find a spot wherever you want to be. Thanks for playing. There you go. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NBA.
All right, here you go, PK. Right back to what you were just saying. It is clear that there are more teams that are no longer prioritizing this season. The Clippers, and we knew obviously they made the one trade there as they sent James Harden on the way. Now they sent Zubac on the way. Zubac and Kobe Brown to the Pacers for Bennedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, 2 first-round picks. The 2026 pick Indiana is sending over is top 4 protected, and 2029 is unprotected. So that suggests the Clippers don't think they're going to be in a long rebuild, but they're going to be in a rebuild here. A team the Jazz might be moving past next year. Let's see what they do.
Okay, yeah.
Have you heard anything? You've heard a little bit. There's obviously a little bit of speculation about a suspension because the salary cap rules may not have been followed by the Clippers. And so if they end up sitting, their best player, have to sit, if the NBA sits him for them and Kawhi Leonard's gone for a while, then how bad will they get? And will it go into next season, which obviously could impact, a team the Jazz might be moving past? We'll have to see. I wonder. I didn't know if you'd heard anything about if the suspension was going to come down this season, if it was going to go into next season.
Just that it's possible, and it's still obviously being investigated, so we'll have to see. The way I look at it for next season, the Clippers are not even a factor in the Jazz mind. I'm expecting the Jazz to be better than them.
Yep.
It's how good. It's not are the Jazz going to be good, it's how good.
Yes. I can see why you're thinking that. I can see why a lot of people are thinking that right now. The Bucks did decide to hold on to Giannis Antetokounmpo. I was in San Francisco the last couple of days, surrounded by Warrior fans. One of my college roommates in particular goes to a bunch of games and is way into it. And, what does this trade mean? It means the rebuild is on. The coach's deal is up this year. He doesn't seem to be coming back. The star player's deal is up next year. It's rebuild time. And the whole thought was when they made the trade, they'd given up on Giannis. Like, Giannis isn't going. And there were stories there that, hey, the Warriors don't think they're going to move him. So I don't know what it was, 18 or 24 hours before the deadline, whenever they pulled the deal on the move they made. And sure enough, they're right. The Bucks hold on to Giannis Antetokounmpo past the deadline. So expecting a summer of intrigue. Where will Giannis go? Who gets Giannis Antetokounmpo? And what is the price tag?
Hashtag.
Memphis couldn't move Ja Morant either, and we know about his off-court issues, and we know about his injuries, and we know about his massive contract. So not surprising they couldn't find a taker for him. Seemed to be a lot of things working against a deal there. Also, Luka Doncic suffering a left hamstring injury in the second quarter. Now the Jazz gave up the Laker pick. You do wonder next year, assuming LeBron retires, if Doncic gets hurt or sits out a bunch of games, what will that Laker pick look like? Well, it looked like something for somebody else now. The Jazz went all in on Jaren Jackson Jr. But you do wonder. But again, there's a team. Man, they could be in front of all 4 California teams next year, depending on how things break, PK. That doesn't take a lot of imagination.
Yeah, I can buy that. We got to see.
We got to see how it works out. Yeah. DJ and PK.
College basketball.
Man, I saw this story while I was gone, and I want to make some phone calls on this. UVU's not paying the WAC $1 million to leave. Is that because they think, hey, the WAC's breaking up and we're not giving you money? No. In the Pac-12, it broke up, and there are only 2 teams left, but those 2 teams wanted their money, and they went to the mat to get it. UVU, not paying the money. They got a $1 million buyout to move to the Big West next year. So the WAC has said you can't play in the conference tournament. You can't have the automatic bid to the NCAA basketball tournament. And now, because you're not a member in good standing, you can't even be on ESPN+. Taking away the streaming deal from them, PK. Take that.
No, are they getting disfellowshipped or excommunicated?
I would say originally I would have categorized it as disfellowshipped when you can't go to the conference tournament. But excommunicated, you can't even be on ESPN Plus. Taking away the streaming platform, man, that's another step.
Suppose they go to the conference tournament, what's going to happen?
They're not going to let them play.
Well, they can still go.
They're not going to let them play. I guess you could go.
Still go.
You want to go and buy a ticket? Okay, they'll take your money. I'm sure they'll take their money. They did beat Abilene Christian 68-55 here as they apparently play out the season.
Yeah, the dearly departed Jazz twin brother, I believe. Taylor Hendricks' brother had a big game.
A lineup of games. If you want to watch local college basketball teams, the games are spread out. It starts with Utah at number 11, Kansas at 12:30 on Fox. Kansas finding themselves, PK. That could be rough.
I would suspect it would be, yes.
Yeah. UT Arlington is at UVU at 2 o'clock. That Ute game is on Big Fox. Utah State's at Wyoming at 6 o'clock on the CBS Sports Network. I wonder how long before the Aggies go back to Laramie with those 2 in different leagues going forward.
Never.
Coverage on 1280 begins with Scotty G's pregame show, 5:30. Tip-off at 6. CBS Sports Network has the TV. And then 8:30, ESPN, number 8 Houston at number 16 BYU. Well, we talked about if they lost at Oklahoma State, then the pressure just grows. So, they lost at Oklahoma State, and here we are. How long will the streak stretch out?
The offensive onslaught
by
2 teams that have played BYU, and we had the offensive chants continue.
Yep.
Now I want to see something defensive. I've had enough of offensive. Now I want to see defensive because Houston is going to guard you like crazy, and if you don't return the favor, they could potentially smoke you like they've been doing.
Yeah, so in the last 5 games, BYU's given up 80 points or more 4 times, and they've lost 4 games. Guess which 4? You can pretty much figure that out.
2 in a row over 90.
Yep. DJ and PK.
#NFL.
Matthew Stafford named the NFL MVP. No surprise there. The coach of the year goes to New England. Mike Vrabel, plus 10 in the win column. Ties the NFL record. They are playing more games, but nonetheless, an impressive turnaround. I think there were other coaches there had really good years, but they didn't come from as far up the track. Horse racing reference for you, PK. They didn't come from as far up the track as New England, so Mike Vrabel gets the coach of the year.
Understandable.
Yep. Super Bowl kicks off Sunday, 4:30, NBC. Seattle favored by 4.5. I'm sure we'll get to this coming up as well and spend more time on this, PK. But Seattle is the favorite. I get it. I don't know many people who think New England is going to win unless they have a New England tie. I'll pick Seattle, but I don't know why people are quite so down on New England. It seems like either team could turn the ball over a few times and the game could go the other way. So if nothing else, that's sitting out there.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I'm just about the halftime performance.
No one believes that, PK, but thanks for saying it out loud, even though it's not true. Thought you were about truth.
I find it just, it's junior high in me, but I find it that the 66-year-old commissioner has to tell us and use the phrase, Bad Bunny. For whatever reason, I find that humorous.
To see grown-ups saying Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
That's a Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
Let's welcome Bad Bunny.
Why can't you be Good Bunny?
The NFL Hall of Fame class for 2026. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, Roger Craig. Brees and Fitzgerald were in their first year of eligibility. Sure enough, Roger Craig on that senior ballot list sneaks in, even though the coach and the owner on the ballot didn't. The Patriots guys, Bill Belichick and Kraft, they didn't get in, but one of the five in the group did, and it's Roger Craig, who was a three-time champ and had 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving in the same year. So there you go. He's in.
Worm well.
Larry Fitzgerald, you can attest to it. Arizona, the whole state loves him, as does the whole city of Pittsburgh because he played his college ball at Pitt.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He's a Valley favorite, no question about it. I went to the World Series, and there he was sitting right over to my left. He's everywhere. He was at the Phoenix Open. He was a buddy of John McCain's, and he just seemed to be someone that gets along with everyone, and obviously he was a phenomenal player. And plus, I saw a list of the quarterbacks he had to play with, and my gosh, it is not Steve Young and Joe Montana by any stretch.
No, it's a much longer list for starters. Certainly not as accomplished either.
Right.
The Dallas Cowboys going to open the season in Rio, in Brazil. How about that? The Rams and Niners are going to Melbourne, and because of the travel, everyone expects that's week one. Do they get a bye week two to come back? I mean, they get an extra day. They usually play on a Friday. So, jet lag.
I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, play those guys next. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
$1 billion. The SEC distributing $1 billion to 16 schools for the 2024-2025 fiscal year, which ended last August. The total jumped more than $200 million from the previous year. Obviously, they added Texas and Oklahoma. $72.4 million per school, up $18.6 million. So you got more money. Now spend it wisely. Good luck with that. The LA Bowl is shutting down after 5 editions of the game at SoFi Stadium. Nobody really wants to go to SoFi for a bowl game. I guess you couldn't get big enough teams to really entertain LA. So, there you go. All over. That one's going away. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Scuba wins, Tigers lose. Landmark arbitration case, $32 million. Tariq Skubal hits it big, PK.
Yeah, Yak and I were talking about this yesterday. They signed Detroit signed the Houston left-hander Valdez to something that was slightly more. And so we were talking about this, that once we saw that, there was no doubt in either of our minds that
how this was going to go.
The kid from Kingman, Arizona, was going to win the arbitration case. I think now with this money, he could buy 2 houses in Kingman, Arizona. You could buy probably 500 houses in Kingman, Arizona.
You can buy all of Kingman, Arizona.
Yeah, he's a heck of a player, so cash in while you can, man. Why not?
Yeah, you never know with the arm problems and all of that. Now, arbitration, this is just a one-year deal. You figure,
Right.
Does he end up a Dodger, a Met, or a Yankee?
Well, I think it's clear he wants to pitch for his home state team, so we know where that's going to end up.
Aha, but he also rooted for the Oakland Athletics because he was born in Hayward before he grew up in Kingman, so he's going to want to pitch for the Athletics in Vegas. So they're going to be paying money.
Actually, that would not be that far away. Kingman, having made that trip many, many times, is about 100 miles from downtown Vegas. So that would be his hometown team in terms of closest association.
Yeah. Indicted Guardians pitcher Emmanuel Clase is accused of throwing suspicious pitches to benefit bettors in at least 48 games over 2 years, significantly more than initially revealed by federal prosecutors. And he was good, PK. He had a chance to make big money. There's no way he could be getting what he could have made in a contract. It didn't make any sense, but here we are.
Yeah, we see bad decisions sometimes.
Yeah.
This is when you weigh risk reward, and obviously that stuff is illegal anyway. So you shouldn't be doing it no matter what, under any circumstance. But if you look at it, consequence and reward, it's so far imbalanced that it really makes no sense. Because yes, he was an outstanding pitcher, and now I would assume that he's going to go the Trevor Bauer route, and we'll never hear from him again in the MLB.
Yeah. It made me wonder, sitting in an airport killing time with nothing to do, did he make one small $5 bet and then they had him and pulled him in and he hated every second of it, but he figured he was compromised and busted after one small bet? And don't even start. I was trying to think of plausible ways that could escalate it, and maybe there is nothing to it. Maybe he just did it. Who knows?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either.
The line of thinking there.
Yeah. DJ and PK. The Milan Cortina Winter Olympic Games. Oh, we got the opening ceremonies coming up, right? But the hockey, due to a number of games and rinks and availability and all that, hockey has already started. USA women's hockey beats we call it Czechia now, not the Czech Republic.
They go by Czechia.
Czechia gets hammered 5-1 by Team USA women's hockey. So there you go. Starting off the games with a W.
Czechia Rama?
Sure. Olympic opening ceremonies later tonight. Gear up. If you love parades, this is about as big a parade as you get right here. The whole Parade of Nations to kick things off.